Are you ready to preserve nature and be a beast on the battlefield?
Welcome to Daggerheart Druid.
What's going on, YouTube? I'm the Mind Flayer Slayer.
And I'm Dr. DM, and today we are back with another Daggerheart full class and subclass review, this time for the Druid. And this is going to be a good one, absolutely. And you want to stick around because at the end we're going to give you our hope, fear, or critical hit rating for these subclasses, so let's get started.
For the Druid, your domain options are Sage and Arcana. We're going to be going through all of the details for these in a separate video, but no, Sage and Arcana are going to be what you're using.
Your starting evasion is 10, which is about average, and your starting hit points are 6, which is about average as well.
For your hope feature, you have Evolution. You can spend 3 hope to transform into a beast form without marking a stress. When you do, choose one trait to raise by +1 until you drop out of your beast form. Okay, so you're able to use this sort of wild shape adjacent ability, shall we say. And I like the ability to pick exactly which you're going to be raising up.
Yeah, absolutely. Beast form is really cool in Daggerheart. We're going to go through a few of them when we talk about the beast form class feature. But being able to raise a stat is so important in Daggerheart because it's giving you a +1 to your attack rolls, which is critical. And just raising a stat generally is going to help you, whether it's instinct or strength, you focus on what is best for your character build. And not having to mark a stress really opens up your character to being able to do still your strongest attacks without using that stress pool.
Yeah, love this. So for your class features, you have Beast Form. Mark a stress to magically transform into a creature of your tier or lower from the Beast Form list. You can drop out of this form at any time. While transformed, you're not going to be able to use your weapons or cast spells from your domain cards, but you can still use other features or abilities that you have access to. Now, the spells that you cast before you enter the beast form are still going to remain active for their normal duration, and you can talk and communicate as normal.
This is fantastic because 2 things. You can always use spells beforehand or have passive abilities going, which is really important. In addition, there are domain cards you can use that aren't necessarily just spells.
Exactly.
And keep in mind that beast forms tier as you level up from tiers 1 through 4. And there's some good ones we're going to look over in just a bit.
Additionally, you gain the beast forms features. Add their evasion bonus to your evasion and use the trait specified in their statistics for your attack. While you're in your beast form, your armor becomes part of your body and you mark armored slots as usual. When you drop out of the beast form, those marked armor slots do remain marked. And if you were to mark your last hit point, you would automatically drop out of your beast form.
This is better than Wild Shape in D&D.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to see a couple examples right now of what makes this so good. This is something that D&D 24 wanted to do. There was a playtest, I think, where they gave you just general beast options.
Yes.
But they ended up going back to just, you have to choose all the stat blocks or different, and that's a lot to handle.
It is.
This makes it a lot more streamlined. So for example, your beast form at tier 1 can be a pack predator generally. So just like a coyote, a hyena, or a wolf.
I love that you can flavor it the way that you want to. This is something that people were already doing in D&D, if we're being honest, but the built-in flavor encouragement is something that I'm right on board with.
Yeah, and look at this. You straight up get a +2 to your strength. So tier 1, you're already looking at having a +4 stat, which would be like equivalent of like an 18 or so.
Yeah.
Incredible. And a +1 to your evasion built in. So these just stack onto you, making you more powerful as is. Here's a little bonus secret. People are actually multi-classing to Druid level 1 because these scale with your level, not just with your Druid. So this is fantastic. In addition, your melee strength becomes a D8 +2 physical, scaling with your proficiency. And what else you get?
You gain advantage on attack, sprint, and track.
That's insane. Every single time you attack, from level 1 all the way to the end.
Advantage.
Advantage, advantage, advantage. Isn't that crazy?
That's wild.
Yeah, with no downsides. In addition, you get Hobbling Strike. Every single beast form has a unique ability, if you will. When you succeed on an attack against a target within melee range, you can mark a stress to make the target temporarily vulnerable, which is great for your party. You don't need it because you already have automatic advantage.
Yeah, for sure.
But so good.
Very good. You also have Pack Hunting. When you succeed on an attack against the same target as an ally who acts immediately before you, you add a D8 to your damage roll.
Wow.
Ooh, getting that damage in. I'm all about that.
And the D8, just think of it as 1 extra proficiency level up because you're adding more dice total. This is incredible. It just makes you stronger than you ever were before.
This is a great base class.
And now we're going to look at a tier 4 example, the terrible lizard, aka T-Rex, Brachio, etc., which gives you +3 to your strength. So now you're looking at, by the time you're this tier, maybe a +7 or +8 to your strength score.
Oh, yeah.
Incredible.
Incredible.
And more evasion on top of whatever armor you're already wearing, which is great.
Your max strength is going to be a d12 plus 10 physical, and you gain advantage on, again, attacks, deceive, scare, and trap.
Scare is amazing.
That's so good.
Actually, that's
it's
fantastic.
a perfect flavor. If I'm a T-Rex, I think you would be scared.
Here's the torch. And then you also get devastating strikes. When you deal severe damage to a target within melee range, you can mark a stress to force them to mark an additional hit point. That's good.
Yeah, massive stride is another feature. You can move up to far range without rolling, and you're going to be ignoring your rough terrain at the GM's discretion due to your size.
This is awesome. And finally, also at tier 4, you get Mythic Hybrid. This is a chimera, cockatrice, manticore, etc., giving you the same kind of bonuses to your damage and strength.
So this hybrid feature allows you to transform into your creature by marking 2 additional stress, and then you can choose any 3 beast form options from tiers 1 through 3 and choose a total of 5 advantage and 3 features from those options. This is absolutely wild, and I love that these are really magical creatures. I think something that D&D really missed out on was that you weren't supposed to be able to transform into like an owl bear, for example.
Right,
the ability to transform into these mythical creatures is something that I would think you would be looking for in a magical world. And I really love that Daggerheart is encouraging that.
Yeah, this is really cool. It gives you a whole breadth of options for your character exploration, your character descriptions, what you're doing on the battlefield. And this, just being able to like hybridize your own version of a creature, this is a big critical hit for me.
So much. And the last thing that's part of your main class features is that you have Wild Touch. You can perform harmless, subtle effects that involve nature, such as causing flowers to rapidly grow, summoning a slight gust of wind, or starting a campfire at will. So basically, Druidcraft. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, now we have 2 subclasses. They are Warden of the Elements and Warden of Renewal. Let's talk about them.
For your Warden of the Elements, you are going to be embodying the natural elements of the wilds. Your spellcasting trait will be Instinct, and you have Elemental Incarnation as your foundation feature. You can mark a stress to channel one of the following elements until you take severe damage or until your next rest. So, for example, you have Fire. When an adversary within melee range deals damage to you, they take 1d10 magic damage.
I think this is surprisingly very, very strong, because of course it doesn't scale with proficiency. It's just a 1d10, but you think about it, a 1d10, even if you roll a 1, you're always going to do minor damage.
Yeah.
So whoever attacks you, even if there's multiple creatures, they're going to be taking minor damage, even at the highest tiers of play.
Yeah.
You'll be doling out 1 HP worth of damage like all around all the time. This is really good.
Very good. And then you have Earth. You can gain a bonus to your damage thresholds equal to your proficiency.
You know what I like about this?
Yeah.
It's not just your major or severe, right? It's both of them. And this is, I can get behind this.
Absolutely.
Sometimes it's just, a lot of the abilities are just to your severe, for example, which is important, but I think rounding out your curve as far as taking less damage is way more important, and this is great.
Or Water. When you deal damage to an adversary within melee range, all other adversaries within very close range must mark a stress. Being able to just auto-trigger a stress on opponents is very, very strong.
This is huge.
Yeah.
Because most of the adversaries, even at lower levels, only have like a maximum of 2 or 3 stress. So this is a great way to just be being like negating them. I don't know, you like dunking them with water or something? I don't know. That's fantastic.
I love it. Or Air. You can hover, gaining advantage on agility rolls.
Okay, that's so-so.
I mean, it's so-so, but the ability to hover is something that's incredibly powerful, mechanically speaking.
You're right.
It's not good in combat, but for roleplay.
But it might be good in combat.
I can hover.
You're right. It's actually quite cool.
Yeah.
And overall, these are all amazing because they don't require an action roll, so you can just turn into them, and you are doing the thing right whenever you need to do it.
Up next, you have your specialization features. Elemental Aura. Once per rest, while channeling, you can assume an aura matching your element. The aura's effects target within close range until your channeling ends. And again, you've got the Fire, Earth, Water, and Air. So Fire, when an adversary marks 1 or more hit points, they must also mark a stress.
Wait a minute, because you're doing kind of auto damage in this way, as long as they're hitting you in melee, right? And then they're taking hit point and stress damage, doubling up. That's so good.
I'm not trying to say that Matt Mercer specifically made this class busted because his wife originally played a druid, but I think he made this class busted because Marisha played a druid.
Hot take. And also because I think D&D has been lacking in like the druid being such a very refined class, and
I
this
agree.
makes it what it needs to be.
Very powerful, very compelling to take. So for Earth, your allies are going to get a +1 bonus to their strength.
Wait, excuse me? Okay, within close range, which is nothing to scoff at. That's like 6 blocks, like 30 feet. That could likely be all your frontline attackers, giving them what's essentially a +1 to hit.
Absolutely.
Wow, that's huge.
Very powerful. Water. When an adversary deals damage to you, you can mark a stress to move them away within very close range of where they are.
That's so good. Like, what do you like? Yeah, I know, like splash them up. This is so good.
It's
And that's
really cool.
automatic. It takes the stress, of course, but so good. Like repositioning to making sure you're safe and your allies have the advantage is so good.
Yeah. Or air. When your ally takes damage from an attack beyond melee range, you're going to reduce that damage by 1d8. Okay, the airs seem to be the least powerful, but let's be honest, this class is absolutely
This is so
busted.
busted.
So there's got to be some balance.
Yeah, and honestly, it's not that bad because it doesn't take a hope or a stress. You're just reducing the damage, and this can help in a pinch. So, for example, if somebody's taken 35 points of damage and their severe threshold is like 34, you even on a 1, you reduce that down. So,
Exactly.
this is a great defensive feature.
Now you have your mastery feature, Elemental Dominion. You further embody your element. While channeling, you gain the following benefits. Fire, you gain a +1 bonus to your proficiency for attacks and spells that deal damage.
Okay, that's to your proficiency. That's rolling an extra die.
Yes, it
So if
is.
your proficiency is 6, you're rolling like 6d8, let's say. Now you're rolling 7d8. So good.
Yeah. Earth, if you would mark hit points, roll a d6 per hit point marked. For each result of 6, reduce the number of hit points you mark by 1.
Ooh, that's very cool roleplay. You're putting up like an earthen barrier
Yeah.
around you, around your
I
skin.
like it a lot.
Okay, cool.
Water, when an attack against you succeeds, you can mark a stress to make the attacker temporarily vulnerable.
Okay, all right, that's still very good because you give them vulnerability. They would have to use a fear or spotlight to clear that, and if not, that's giving your whole team advantage.
Yep.
So it's going to make it so the boss doesn't want to attack you if you're in this mode.
True. Or air, you gain a +1 bonus to your evasion, and you can now fly.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
That's cool. That's also great for the battlefield and also roleplay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give this right away. This subclass is absolutely a critical hit.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, this is like 212 critical hit, the nat 20 critical hit, the best critical hit.
The best of the critical hits.
Incredible. And you know what? On top of all this stuff, you also have your beast forms, which can stack and then power up everything else. in
Exactly.
addition. Wow. This is tremendous.
I think I might be playing a druid.
this is so
Let's
good.
take a look.
This is so good.
Pretty compelling.
Let's talk about Warden of Renewal and see if it can stack up.
Okay, you're going to be playing a Warden of Renewal if you want to use powerful magic to heal your party. Okay, your druid healer. Spellcasting trait is going to be Instinct again, and your foundation feature, Clarity of Nature. Once per long rest, you can create a space of natural serenity. Within close range, when you spend a few minutes resting within the space, clear stress equal to your instinct, distributed as you choose between you and your allies.
Okay, not too bad. Your instinct might be, depending on how you go, how you want to be an attacker with beast form or not. It could be like a 2 to up to like a 5 or so. You could clear stress without having to take a short rest, just a few minutes. And this is good, situationally useful, but I think very good.
Yeah. Regeneration. You touch a creature and spend 3 hope, and then that creature is going to clear 1d4 hit points.
Okay, the variance is kind of so-so because it'd just be 1 for 3 hope. Not a great compromise
But
there.
if it's 4,
That's true.
that's significant.
That could be a lot
there
of hit
could be a
points.
big swing there.
Yeah,
So.
and you can do this during combat. This kind of gives you like the Seraph's Lay on Hands ability, right? And this is an extra hope feature just stapled onto a subclass.
Yeah,
Pretty cool.
quite good. For specialization features, you have regenerative reach. You can target creatures within very close range with your regeneration feature. Okay, so this allows it to expand beyond just one.
Oh,
this
good
is
point.
pretty not the best,
Yeah,
I think.
And Warden's Protection, once per long rest, spend 2 hope to clear 2 hit points on 1d4 allies within close range. Oh, interesting. Up to like 8 hit points on 1d4 allies. So this is, I see the healing aspect here, and it's going above and beyond what you could do with like a short rest or even a long rest. So you definitely want to play this subclass if you're doing like a lot of dungeon crawling. There's just a lot of adventure, a lot of danger, and you need a way to shore up your party without relying so much on rest. So I can see the benefits of this subclass.
Yeah, for sure. For your mastery feature, you have Defender. Your animal transformation embodies a healing guardian spirit. Okay, very cool. When you're in your beast form and an ally within close range marks 2 or more hit points, you can mark a stress to reduce the number of hit points they mark by 1.
So a 1-for-1, a stress for 1 hit point. That's not too bad and kind of on demand, although you're already going to be piling up stress a lot.
I would want to see something just a hair better for the mastery.
Yeah, I agree. It seems like not a throwaway, but just kind of like an extra that can be situationally useful, but not exceptional for like a level 8 tier 4 play.
Yeah.
It can save lives and be helpful healing, but overall, I'm going to give this subclass probably just a hope. I think it's pretty solid for what it does.
Yeah, I agree. A strong hope, but I would definitely be leaning towards that Elemental one personally.
That's incredible, yeah. Well, this has been our review of Druid and all its subclasses. We hope you're enjoying our coverage here of Daggerheart. We love it. Some of these things are so cool. We can't wait to implement them at the table and all the way you can describe all your abilities and everything. It's just chef's kiss.
Absolutely. And remember, we have a Daggerheart campaign that is going to be coming up soon in a very, very, shall we say, sexy campaign setting.
Demonetized!
Maybe you've heard of before. So that will be revealed in the very near future, but we are so excited to be diving in with Daggerheart and bringing this fresh content to all of you out there. Remember to smite that like button, leave a comment down below, subscribe,
and don your best beast form because we're going all in on Daggerheart.